is where the fun begins.
What's up, guys? My name's Tony, aka Star Wars Sith, and welcome to another episode of Sith Talk, where we talk Star Wars news, rumors, and coming soons. Today we have on the show Eric from the Cirespeed Reviews YouTube channel. How you doing, Eric?
I'm good. How you doing, Tony? Thanks for
Good.
having me on.
Of course, good. So tell us a little bit about your channel, what your channel focuses on, and where we can find you at.
All right. Well, my name is Eric. My channel name is Cirespeed Reviews. I do a little of everything on this channel. I do Funko Pop reviews, Black Series figure reviews, TVC reviews. Also do toy hunts on this channel.
Yes.
And I've been lately, thanks to Rogue Nation, I've been do a little bit of gaming on my channel for Battlefront 2. So I've been incorporating some of that.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, a little bit of everything. So, guys, I'm going to put the link to Eric's channel in the description before. Definitely check him out. This man does a little bit of everything. So now everyone that comes on the show, I ask them the same 3 questions. So are you ready for the first one?
I'm ready.
Oh, yeah. All right. So what is your favorite Star Wars movie and why?
I'm an OG. I have to go with Empire Strikes Back.
Nice.
I have to say Empire Strikes Back, but then Revenge of the Sith is my next one up.
Yeah.
I love Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I know. So for most OGs, like it's Empire. Empire is like the one that's most consistent for sure. But for me, it's Revenge. I just love Revenge, man. Like you can't go wrong with either one, but
Exactly.
they're just so classic. And they just, both of them never get old. I could watch them over and over and you still have that same feeling every time you watch them.
Exactly. Yeah, those are my favorites.
Nice. All right, so then the next one is, what is your favorite Star Wars show? Only one, though. It could be animated or live action, but one show. That's a tough one.
Yeah, see, I've got 3 that I kind of like juggle between. I love the Clone Wars. I love Rebels, but I think I'm gonna have to say the Mandalorian, because to me it feels like the OG, Star Wars. It practical effects. It kind of feels like that Star Wars that I grew up, watching. So I'm gonna have to say the Mandalorian, and this season hasn't disappointed yet.
Oh, not at all. We're gonna get into a lot of that today for sure. You saw today's episode, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. But yeah, I'm kind of on the same page as you. Literally with those 3, like typically it'll be Clone Wars. But like Rebels was always the first for the longest. And now that Mando's came, and how you just mentioned how it feels old, but it's new, practical effects. Like for me, I think the Mando is going to crush all shows, especially once it gets like to season 4, 5, and 6, and it has like a good catalog.
Yeah.
For me, I just edge it out with Clone Wars a little bit, because 7 seasons is a lot of content. And those last 4, Revenge of the Sith 2.0, is just so beautiful, man.
Yeah, no, it hasn't disappointed, and man, when we get into that, it's a big episode.
Oh yeah. So the last question is, who is your favorite Star Wars character? Oh,
yes. Have to go with Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Yeah. Nice. And why Boba Fett?
It's just a character that stuck out with me. Seeing it as a kid, I was impressed. The mystery behind him. And so it just kind of stuck with me. Mandalorian, the armor, the style, his swagger. It's just great. It's like a Western,
Yeah.
That, so I gotta say, Boba Fett.
Yeah. So I love Boba Fett too, man. So for me, it was always fluctuating between Maul and Boba or Maul and Anakin, but Boba's like in my top 3.
Yeah.
But Maul, I think, is my number 1. But yeah, Boba, he's high up there. I love anything and everything Boba Fett, helmets, Funkos, Black Series. Like I have like every version of them. And I know you have a million Bobas everywhere too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And I think that's part of Boba legit is part of the reason Mando is so popular, because when Mando first came out, everyone looked at him and the first thing they thought was Boba Fett. Like, oh, that's one of Boba Fett's people. Is that Boba Fett? Like, so he's a big reason that Mando like blew up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that look, it's just one of those. He's just a character, just kind of, has been with us since the beginning. or towards the beginning of of it all,
Yeah.
and now with his new look, gave him a fresh feel on the
Yep.
character.
Yeah. No, for sure, for sure. All right, so I have a ton of articles we'll get into, but before we get into the articles, because there's been a lot of like juicy news info the past 4 or 5 days, so I got a bunch. But let's talk about today's episode of Mando. So, what'd you think about it?
Oh yeah, it's one of those. I think of it as a sandwich. You have the meat, and you got it's not filler,
Uh huh.
but it's enough to keep you going because Dr. Pershing, his story, get to see what happened to him,
Yeah.
his little his little backstory a little bit,
Yep.
where he ends up, what happens to him.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not, I don't want to say anything. Maybe we want to talk about that shortly, but yeah,
Yeah.
I felt it. And then with the whole Mandalorian towards the ending, the nice little finish it
Yeah.
all off. It was just gorgeous. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a great episode. So I love the beginning. That dogfight in space was
Oh
just
yeah,
it was an 11-minute dogfight because I was watching it and I was like, this is so good.
I
And then
know.
it jumped to the intro, and that was at the 11-minute mark. So we got an 11-minute fight, which was sick.
Yep.
So that was cool. And then just at the end when he went there, and I thought Bo-Katan and Armor were gonna get into it like a little verbal snippy battle, but they didn't. I
Yes.
still think eventually they will, because she's not gonna stay, man. Like, did you notice that when they all said this is the way, like about her, that she didn't say it?
No, I didn't catch that. I didn't see that part.
Yeah, I was
I didn't
listening.
notice it.
Yeah, I was listening because she said this is the way, I think, to Mando, like before they went in, or she said at some point in the episode, but in that cave, she didn't say it when they said it like to her. And I was like listening. So I think she's kind of just being low key,
Yeah.
keeping her helmet on, but like she has something up her sleeve,
Yeah.
and I cannot wait.
Yeah. She's in it for to get that power.
Yeah. Yeah, that
So yeah,
Mythosaur.
it's some juicy stuff going on.
So one thing I kind of caught it while I was watching it. Well, I'll save that part because we have an article about that. But there's some Revenge of the Sith Easter eggs in this, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So let me bring up the first article I have. Let me share this. All right, so this first one is Book of Boba Fett season 2 might have just been hinted at. So I guess recently something was updated somewhere official on Disney, and it went from being like a limited series to saying in the first season. So that's kind of like a hint or an indicator that maybe there might be a second season. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, I'm down for another season of Boba Fett. I just wish they keep it more centered to his character.
Yes.
You know how, and about the was it the cyborg characters? I think most people.
Yeah,
I may not be the only one that didn't like that part, but for the most part, if he centered around Boba Fett, and his rule, I think that'd be the way to go.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of the Vespa gang, like the
Yes.
the Power Ranger people, and like I loved the two Mando episodes. They were amazing, but they didn't belong there. Like, this is the Boba Fett show. You robbed him of 2 episodes, and it was only like a 7 episode season anyway, so it was already short as it is. So
Yeah.
hopefully season 2, it's a full season. They give Boba the love he deserves and make him a badass again, like he was in Mando.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah. When he went against the biker gang, that's the Boba Fett I want.
yeah, exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
Savage. Yes.
Hmm.
So hopefully, in celebration in a couple weeks, this maybe they'll announce this at the Lucasfilm Showcase on that Friday. So fingers crossed, we'll see. But that's the first one. The next one I
That's true.
got, yeah. The next one I got is, I guess they were interviewing Katie Sackhoff and asking her if Bo is gonna fight like with Mando at all this season. And what does she say? Um So I think she kind of said basically that she's not, because that in the past she's fought over and over and it doesn't work. So she's kind of tired of fighting and tired of fighting amongst herself. So that's kind of what she said there. And like, we kind of saw that in today's episode, how
Mhm.
she didn't really like fight with them at the end and kind of was like, okay, maybe I'll do this. So would you prefer to see like Bo and Mando fight this season?
Well, I kind of feel that she's doing things, just like she didn't mention anything about the Mythosaur. She's keeping a lot of things,
Oh
under wraps,
yeah.
and I think maybe in a very political way, she's gonna get what she wants. May not be in fighting,
Yeah.
Demando, but yeah, she'll find another way to get it.
Yeah, that's true. And you're right about that. I forgot she didn't mention the Mythosaur. She asked him, like, did you see anything alive down
Yeah,
there? And he was like, what do you mean? No. So, yeah, that's super interesting. She didn't say nothing. That's definitely going to come back later in the season, like for
exactly.
sure. So, speaking of the Mythosaur, so this next one talks about like implications for season 3. So let's see, what does it have? So it's part of the songs of eons past foretold the Mythosaur rising up to herald a new age of Mandalore. So it's part of the legends. So we got the lore in the season premiere, and then Din's rise as the ruler of Mandalore. So since he has the dark saber, technically he's can be the ruler of Mandalore. But I mean, Bo-Katan's change of attitude with him. And let's see what else is on here. Bo-Katan as Din's adversary.
Oh
And
yeah,
then,
you kind
yeah.
of felt that she felt you felt that tension when Grogu was in the ship. She's like, I'm gonna take care of this right now. She
Yeah.
was ready.
No. Yeah. And then Mandalorian clans united or divided. So I think the Mythosaur is going to be a huge part. And it might be in a couple episodes. I think it'll be before the finale. I think the finale will be something else, but it's going to play a huge part. And like, say if she does get it, and like all those Mandos that are there with the armorer start to follow Bo Katan, I'm wondering if the armorer is going to like follow too, or if she's kind of going to stay back. Like that is going to be awesome to see.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering, like where is this all going to hit? Because the whole unmasking of the helmet. I know she's. I have a feeling she's going to take her helmet off. So I don't know how that's going to work. How long she's going to be in the clan? So
Who? Oh, you have a feeling Bo or Armorer is gonna take?
Bo Katan.
Oh
No,
yeah, yeah, she is. Like she lived her whole life. She's probably what in this like 40 or 50, so like 30, 40, 50 years of living with no helmet on. All of a sudden to put it on, and you and I both know wearing these helmets, you can't breathe in them for long. Like there's no way their helmets are comfortable.
yeah.
So like, yeah, she's gonna take it off. It would be dope if the armorer kind of like followed Bo, and if the armorer took hers
Oh
off.
wow.
Like
Yeah,
imagine that.
yeah. All this time, like getting after everybody else about taking their helmet off and casting them aside, and then for this to happen. I mean, if it does happen, that's gonna be juicy, and we'll see how it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So the Ahsoka show supposedly will be missing a fan favorite character. So they interviewed Katie Sackhoff again and asked her if she is going to be in the Ahsoka show. And she said that she isn't as of now, which to me makes sense. There's already too many people in the Ahsoka show where we're not even going to care about Bo-Katan. Like we're going to get our live action Sabine, Hera, Chopper, Ezra, Hayden, Anakin flashbacks. Like there's already too much in there. I'm fine with Bo not being in there. What do you think about that?
No, I think I'll be good with the same thing. If she's not on that show, that's fine.
Yeah, I think why some people like brought this up is they kind of wanted to see a live action
Yeah,
reunion of Ahsoka and Bo-Katan like
yeah,
Rebels.
yeah, exactly.
But I think maybe we'll get that in Mando because so next week is Dave Filoni's episode that he wrote for Mando. So if we were to see Ahsoka or Sabine at all in Mando, it would be either next Wednesday, or I think he did episode 7 as well. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully that's the case for next week.
Yeah. So the next one is about the movies for 2025. So supposedly it's going to be revealed at Celebration at the Lucasfilm Showcase. And what most like big insiders and scoopers are like kind of saying, it's going to come out Christmas, like December 2025. And the time slot, actually, it even has the date already, the 19th. So supposedly December 19th, 2025. It's this guy, Damon Lindelof, who he did the show Lost. He did the series
Oh, okay.
Watchmen. Yeah, Watchmen was pretty good. And then he did like Prometheus, Cowboys and Aliens. He did like a bunch of random movies you probably have seen before, but supposedly he wrote it. The whole movie's written, and they're gonna start filming like either later this year or early next year. So, what do you think of this? And are you ready for movies to be back in the theater?
I am so ready for another Star Wars to be in theaters. And I think we talked about this, about possibly, and I'm hoping this is the case, that there are three separate stories.
Yeah,
I don't want another trilogy. I mean, hate on me all you want, but yeah, I don't want another trilogy.
yeah, exactly. I think this should be a single movie by itself.
Exactly.
I don't trust them to do a trilogy unless it's John and Dave. If you gave it to John and Dave, they would have a consistent story for all
Exactly.
three. But if you give it the trilogy, especially if you do different directors like they did, oh, it's a cluster. It's a cluster of
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah. And then
So
you got one writer say, "Oh, this character was important," and then they'll just kill him off in the next one. That we don't need all that.
yes, exactly. So I think they've learned from that, and it's been what freaking 4 years. I'm dying to go to the movies, get that popcorn bucket with Star Wars on it, the cup,
Yeah.
and just to see it. And like, hopefully, it has some sort of crawl because I missed the loud music, the Star
Yeah.
Wars logo, and then the crawl. Oh, those were the days, man. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Very different from the Star Wars stories what they do, but
yeah,
all good. If I can get in theaters, I can have my popcorn and watch a good movie. Then I'm okay. I'm
exactly.
okay without the scroll, but hey.
Yeah. So next one I got is the Acolyte gets a release date, well, a release year. So the Acolyte is going to come out in 2024. So it's not coming out this year. And yeah, a lot of people thought that there was a chance it was going to come out this year, but one of the Disney execs confirmed 2024, and then another person that was part of the show confirmed at Celebration on that Friday at the Lucasfilm Showcase panel, there will be a portion of it speaking about Acolyte. So I don't know if it's going to be like a teaser, a clip, a first look, something like that, but we should get more info. But what do you think about this Acolyte show?
Well, if you get some information over there in London, then pass it on to us. Let us know.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I'm super excited. There's not much concrete about it, nothing but leaks. So I can't
Yeah.
wait to get the official stuff. But from what I've heard, like there's a lot of Jedis, there's a lot
Mhm.
of Sith, there's a lot of lightsabers.
It's a lot of
Um,
it's a female oriented show. Am I correct?
yeah, well, I think there is so the last leak I heard, which actually made it sound freaking amazing. It's a set of twin girls that are both force sensitive, and they get split away, and one goes with the Jedi and trains to be a Jedi, and one stays and becomes a Sith. And I think there's conflict with that. Like, they're twin sisters,
Yeah.
one on the light, one on the dark, and there's just a
It's like
bunch of
the
stuff
anime.
with that. Yeah, yeah. So that's cool right there because you get the best of both worlds. The people that like Jedi's will have a Jedi. The people that like Sith will have her, but as a Sith.
Yeah.
And and there's just a bunch of Jedi, so it should be a good one, man.
Oh, that does sound good.
Yeah, yeah, like that right there. When I heard that, I'm like, oh, that's perfect. The story will be juicy no matter which side wins. I don't care. Like it's gonna be a lot of sabers clashing, a lot of force power. So yeah. So looking forward to that one for sure. Now, this one was cool. I don't know if you caught this, but I didn't catch it until after I watched the episode. But I think it was 2 episodes ago, the Bad Batch season 2 connected to the Mandalorian, and it was at the end of the Crosshair episode. And the doctor that was experimenting on him
Yeah.
had the Kaminoan like badge on her
Yeah.
shoulder, and it's the same logo that Pershing had on in Mando, the same cloning logo. Did you catch
Yeah.
that when watching it?
No, I didn't catch it when I was watching it, but I believe I saw it on your channel. You had a little story on it.
Yeah, yeah. So that is kind of cool
That's
how they're connecting it. Um, I thought they were going to continue to connect it more. I mean, and they still might. We still got 3 more episodes, but like, yeah, that was super dope. Imagine if in the next episode of the finale, we see like a young Pershing at this cloning facility with the Bad Batch animated. How crazy would that be?
yeah. I think that would be pretty cool if they can connect the two. You looking at the time, the time of that, between the shows.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how they would, stick around using the same type of uniform. But I mean, it's consistent and it works. It works for both shows. It connects them too. So
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was cool for
yeah,
sure. So the next one, a new Mandalorian season 3 Lego set will highlight the Mandalore scene. So it's the freaking the spider droid.
yes, I saw
Remember?
that.
Yeah. So they're doing a Lego. It's a little 526 piece set.
Yeah,
Retails
I saw that.
$45. Actually, I have actual pictures of it. We'll get to it later because towards the end I have some items. But I thought that was cool. Oh, there's pictures over here too. I guess we'll look at it right now too. So there it is. That looks pretty sick.
Yeah, it does. Now I'm wondering if you could just break it down a little more into the into the other his
Oh,
little
yeah.
that other little body he was using.
That'd be so cool. Like you take him
And
out and
it
then you
kind
can
of
take the head out. Yeah.
I think that's
I
pretty cool. I like that.
yeah, I just like the minifigs, like this
Yeah.
Bo-Katan with
Oh
two
yeah.
guns, little Grogu, Din with the dark saber. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I might have to pick this up on one of my Target runs.
$45 is not. We said 45, right?
Yeah, 45.
Not
I'm
bad.
sure it's not too bad. It's probably decent size, and you get 3 minifigs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, that was a pretty amazing episode. I
That
like that part
episode
right there.
blew,
Yeah.
yeah. It blew my mind, that episode. Like her coming to Mandalore and then just seeing Din wield the dark saber and he could barely do it. And when she picked it up, it was like nothing.
Yeah.
Like it was just so amazing. And just seeing that Mythosaur, man. First of all, I didn't think they would get to the mines of Mandalore till the end of the season. I thought it was like the whole season mission. All of a sudden, second episode done and a Mythosaur.
Yeah, we get it with a glimpse of it. So yeah, that
Yeah.
surprised me. And I want some more. I want to see the whole creature.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Like I wanted to come out of the water. Yeah, I
I
cannot
can
wait,
wait. I
man.
can wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind
Oh
of
no, for sure.
builds it up.
Yeah. No, definitely. All right. So the next one. So this is a new article, but it's basically an old article that the live action Thrawn casting gets an unfortunate update. So I think on one of my Sith talks a couple of weeks ago, we talked about this, that Lars Mikkelsen, who he voiced Thrawn in Rebels, supposedly he was confirmed as being the live action Thrawn. But this article is just bringing up the same thing where they kind of asked him about it, and he said that no one's reached out to him yet, that it would be fun. And I kind of think he's full of it, right? Because like just
Yeah.
like Andrew Garfield in No Way Home,
Yeah.
he was like, nobody reached out to me. I'm
Yeah.
not
Exactly.
Spider-Man. Yeah. So I just think he can't say it. What do you think about him playing Thrawn in live action, the
Yeah.
actual voice?
Yeah. You don't have to do nothing to him. He looks like Thrawn. I mean, the character was based off of him. So just go with it.
Yeah.
Got the voice and everything. I don't know why they haven't reached out to him. Supposedly.
Yeah, I think they're full of crap. So at London Celebration that Saturday is the Ahsoka panel. I want to bet money that all of a sudden they're gonna be like, "Do you guys want to meet the live action Thrawn?" And I bet you he will walk out on stage. I
Yep.
bet you. So yeah, so I think come that Saturday they have to confirm who. If it's not him, whoever it is, just let us know. That way we know. But I hope it's him because like Bo-Katan is perfect because you could
Yep.
close your
I agree.
eyes and you see the animated and the live action
Yep.
at the same time. It's like perfect.
Yeah, exactly. I say if you're gonna base your character on it, then why get somebody else?
No,
Why not reach out to him?
yeah. So I know you said you like Rebels a lot. Did you like all the Thrawn stuff in the Rebels show?
Yeah, yeah. Towards the yeah, loved it. I
Yeah.
and I kind of want that story to continue. They kind of disappeared,
Yeah.
even Ezra. So I hope we get some kind of some show or something in the future that continues the story. And
So
I'm not
I
sure.
yeah, no go ahead.
No, I'm not sure if that's where if that's what the where the show is going to go with.
I think it is. So I think there was a article a while ago that Filoni wrote season 5 of Rebels or wrote like an animated spin-off of Rebels, a continuation, but it got canceled. But he took that script and
Oh
is
yeah,
using it for Ahsoka.
yeah. I think
So
I remember was saying that.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure we should see that, like where Thrawn and Ezra went with the Purgles at the end of Rebels.
Yeah,
And then supposedly also John and Dave are working on a spin-off show that's codenamed like Ghost Recon
yeah,
17 or something like that. So maybe it could be even more of that Ezra Thrawn, like what happened? They went somewhere together. They're clearly both still alive. Like, oh, that's gonna be crazy to see that.
yeah, yeah. I think the key word is ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we're definitely going to get something on that.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Okay, so this is the one I was talking about earlier from today's episode that they visit an iconic Skywalker location. And I kind of noticed it while I was watching it, but it didn't really hit me as hard because I was just so focused on being in Coruscant. But when they went to the opera house,
Yeah.
right? That's the same opera house where Anakin and Palps were talking about the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. So if you look at the shot from the show, basically same shot from
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith. Did
Oh
you
yeah,
ca-
when you yeah,
did you
I noticed that.
Yeah.
I noticed the entrance to the opera house. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the steps because Anakin like running late to get there and he was like running up those steps just like how the person was running in at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I like those little tie-ins, little Easter eggs.
That's a pretty big one too, because like
Yeah.
that scene, I even think the music was like kind of dark at one of the points, and it was like a theme from Revenge of the Sith, like a Palpatine or a Plagueis theme, something like that.
Oh yeah,
But
there was a yeah, I think there was a that the music there was the background music
yeah, yeah,
very reminiscent.
yeah. So that was so awesome how they tied it in, and they're just gonna do more stuff like that. Like we're only 3 episodes in, and we're gonna get a lot more for sure.
So my question is for example, now that Dr. Pershing is well, I'm not sure he's pretty much brain dead right now. I'm not sure if they killed him off completely, but how is that going to work for well, like he's the main doctor for cloning,
Yeah.
how's that going to work out?
So that whole thing, I was so like, what's going on? I was so lost, so confused, especially with the girl. Cause in my mind, the whole episode, I'm like, she works for Moff, she's
Yeah,
trying to get him back. Like, and then all of a sudden she flips the script, tricks him, gets him arrested, and then when the dude left, I thought she was gonna turn it off, take him and escape, but she turned it up. So is she like killing him because he's the only one that can do the cloning stuff? And maybe they have something else like a Kaminoan or maybe like an older Omega or something, and they don't need him and they don't want him out there. Bro, I have so many questions.
yeah, and that's quite incompetent of a doctor just kind of leaving her there. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's been relapsed before, so I'm just going to be here to support him. But nah, yeah,
yeah,
support him.
exactly. So next episode, I still think she's working for Moff. I don't think we're gonna get Moff Gideon next episode. It's Filoni's episode. He doesn't care about Moff. But I don't know. Maybe we'll
You
get
think maybe
Sabine.
maybe she downloaded some information. Well, maybe when they went to his brain, they probably took his information he had in his brain about the cloning, and maybe she has
Oh,
access to that now. I don't know if that completely if they just wiped it out, wiped his brain out, or if they extracted something out of his brain.
maybe maybe they did. I mean, that would make sense, and then you wouldn't need them because you would have all
Yeah,
the data like on a card or whatever. Who knows? I mean, we'll probably have to wait 2 weeks to see what happens because I bet you next week will probably be more like Din and Grogu stuff.
yeah.
Maybe Din trying to get that IG memory card somewhere, and maybe he'll have to get help with Boba or something like that. So yeah, I guess we'll see, man. But yeah, trust me, I was so confused. Like that whole sequence at the end, like what the hell is going on? I died though when he said it was a trap. I'm like, yo, you just said that to the Admiral Akbar, dude. I was like, oh, that was so
Yeah,
beautiful, man.
yeah, I noticed that. That was pretty hilarious. And what is the deal with the whole what is it, Throng Day, or something like that?
Oh,
Oh, what's the
Tong Day. I
Throng Day?
guess
Yeah,
I guess I forgot. I was watching some video and they explained what that meant. Like
is it
it's a
like a
day of the
Thursday?
it's like yeah, it's like a day of the week, like 3 days into the week, based on somebody on something. It was something that was like, oh, okay. It kind of ties into lore, but it's nothing like crazy, like whatever. But yeah, that was real weird. That was
I
real
did
weird.
like they repeated like 3 times. That was pretty
Yeah.
hilarious.
I think it's kind of like hump day, like Wednesday. Like, I think it's kind of something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
imagine a T-shirt, right? There's a T-shirt idea.
Oh, Tongues Day. Yeah. That's so true. All right, this one got me excited, and I've been theorizing this since the first season of Mando, since like for years that I've been saying the Filoni verse is gonna end up in an endgame movie with Thrawn and Luke and
Yeah.
Ahsoka and Mando and everybody fighting the hell out of each other. So they talk to Filoni, and he says a lot in this article. But let me get to the juiciest part. So Filoni then added that the time period he mentioned is big enough to contain many stories. So he was referring that it's 30 years between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, which is the longest period of time. So they can have a lot of stories and they don't need to go or tie into the sequels or go anywhere. They can be their own thing, which is what he said, which is good to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, if it does tie in with the sequels, they'll make it tie in good, which I'm fine with. I don't really care personally,
Yeah.
but he was saying here, when you look at the original trilogy, it's much less significant amount of time that those three movies take place in. And so what I like is that we're really building very slowly an ecosystem of characters and politics and events post Return of the Jedi that may or may not expand in a bigger way as we add more shows and characters to it. Um, and then the big event thing, I think that the reality of there being a big event in this time period is very real, meaning a big movie,
Yeah.
is all I would say to that. But yes, if John wanted to keep making Mandalorian stories, as long as he doesn't get bumped off in like this big event, then they can continue because there's no lack of interest for Grogu and Mando. So I think John and Dave have something on the board where it's like Mando season 3, Arrow, Ahsoka, Arrow, Skeleton Crew, Arrow, Mando season 4, and then maybe Arrow, a finale movie like Heir to the Empire or something with Thrawn in the movies like Endgame. Everyone's trying to fight Thanos. I feel like they're building the Avengers right now with all these characters to
Hmm.
take out Thrawn. So what do you think about all that possibly?
I like that idea. I do like the end game and how everything was structured. Everything was written way in advance.
Yeah.
Everything was just perfectly done. So, and I can see the building blocks right now on what they're doing. So, yeah, if it ends up being that's the end game of getting everybody to go against Thrawn, then that I'm down for that. If they make it a movie, then I'm there.
Yeah. And I think that might be the first time where like the shows will tie into a movie because Marvel right now has the movies jumping into the shows and then back to the movies. But this will be the first time, like from the shows, it's gonna end as a movie. And like that movie will break freaking records. I guarantee you that opening weekend, especially if it's John and Dave writing, directing this movie, they're gonna break records. And it's Mando and Grogu. So they're gonna break records for that if it does happen. And like Lucasfilm should realize, okay, let's give these guys the key and let them do whatever they want and just not bother them.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why they haven't gotten to that point as of right now. Let them write everything.
Yeah.
Let them do all the movies. You know why? You know.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Oh, we got this big name director. We got Taika Waititi. We got Kevin Feige, Lindelof, this person, that person. Nobody cares. We just want a good story. It could be Joe Schmo from anywhere. Like, just give us a good story that makes sense. So I guess we'll have to just see, man. That might be a few years out, though. I would think.
Yeah, them two guys, man. They're proteges of Lucas, George Lucas. So I mean,
Yeah.
hand everything to them.
Exactly. Especially well, yeah, Dave, he's basically
Yeah,
George's protege. And then John, he basically started the whole Marvel thing. He wrote Iron Man. He started that whole cinematic universe. So like he was a part of that. So he knows exactly how it works, how to connect everything.
yeah.
He's been doing that since when did Iron Man come out? 2005? 2006?
Oh, you probably you probably right about that. I
Yeah,
remember some
so
stuff like
it's been a while. So we'll
that.
see.
Everything was building up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Oh, one other thing I forgot to talk about from the Mando episode today. Yo, did you notice this guy almost talked?
yeah, he made a little. No, I was hearing him making all these blabber noises, and I thought it was pretty cute. But I didn't
Yeah,
hear him
but like,
actually saying it.
so he did, but like the way he did it, it was like four syllables. It was like four blabber syllables
Yeah,
because Mando said, "This is the way." Bo-Katan said, "This is the way," and then he mumbled what sounded like four things that if he would have said it, it would have been, "This is the way." I bet you maybe by the end of the season, I bet you his first words are going to be "This is the way." So
yeah.
yeah,
He hears it all the time, so I'm sure that's probably his
yeah,
first
so,
words.
yeah. Rewatch it and kind of listen because, like, I think they even kind of stopped and looked at him, like, were you about to say it?" But yeah, man, like I think he's gonna say "This is the way" is gonna be his first words, and that's gonna be so wild to hear him say that.
And what's funny is like Pelly thinks that his first words was Pelly.
Yeah, yeah. No, he was just that was mumbles right there. That was 100% mumbles, like for sure. All right. So that was the last article. Now I got some goodies coming out, and I know you're gonna like them because it's a mixture of TVC, Black Series, Lego, and Funko. So everything is right up your alley.
All right, ready.
So the first one, Book of
Yep.
Boba Fett, the female Tusken warrior vintage figure. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I like it. And do you know there's some information about they actually got this one from two figures. The
Yeah.
there was one. Yeah, did you hear about that one?
I saw Yak Face post it.
Yeah,
Wasn't
Yak
it
Face.
like they took like
Yeah,
Ray's body but repainted it, and then the top was from something else or something, or the top was from I don't know. Yeah, I saw it was from
yeah,
two other
yeah.
parts.
But it was like the Tuscan Raider and Ray's
Yeah, they
the
mixed it. Yeah.
arms and everything. Yeah,
So
that's pretty
this,
interesting. I like them. I like when they do that. If you're not gonna do a whole mold, then find something that
yeah,
complements, and that looks pretty good.
yeah, it looks good for sure. And then I think it's a combination of soft goods. I think like the robes around the waist are soft, but then up here it's molded. So it's a good mix. I like the card back too. Like she looks mean there. She was such a badass
Yeah, she
in the
was.
show. Oh, I thought her and Boba were gonna have like a little love story. I felt like a little chemistry between them. So that's the first
Yeah,
one.
I like that one.
Yeah, I'm grabbing that for sure. The next one, they don't show the packaging, they just show the figure, but it is a Black Series Tuscan, I forgot what they call them, tribesman or something like that, like the head Tuscan from Book of
Yeah,
Boba.
man. Chieftain.
Yeah, chieftain, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I saw this, like that is dope, man.
Yeah, I like that one. And is that soft goods?
I think so. Yeah, yeah, it should be all soft goods. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So those were two announced today. And then the next one we kind of looked at was the Lego set. So, I mean, it's freaking awesome. The minifigs, the freaking spider. So that's cool. The next ones I know you saw, I'm pretty sure you've seen, but some of the celebration exclusives. So the armorer
Yep.
with her bag and her wallet. What do you think about those?
I think that's pretty dope. I like it. I mean, I'm not into bags, but looks
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little gold, it's a good
Yeah.
look.
No, for sure. Yeah. I'm not into the bags either, but like, yeah, this looks pretty cool. And like that's so dope that they had her reveal it because it was like on her Instagram on Loungefly. Like there's not even official pictures of it. It's just this of her holding it, which is cool that they sent it to her and they said, "Hey, show the world this for the first time." She must have been so hyped.
Yeah,
S-
indeed.
So the next one I know you saw, we've talked about it in the group chat, but the Funkos for Celebration. So Jar Jar from this is Phantom Menace because I'm pretty sure this is
Yeah,
when he electrocuted
yeah,
himself and then his tongue was all
yeah,
out numb. What do you
yeah.
think
You gotta
about this
give
one?
that okay.
Yeah, yeah. You gonna grab this?
I think I'll look for him. I'll end up grabbing him.
Yeah, I'm grabbing that for sure too.
Yeah, I
Like,
got the Clone Wars Jar Jar
oh,
also.
the GameStop one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I got that one too. I love that one. So that was the first reveal, and then the second one, the 2-pack with R2 and R5. So I was watching Chris's video this
yep,
morning, and this R2 is different because I thought this was the Target Empire one from a couple years ago, but that one is a lot more weathered and dirtier than this. So this is a different weathered version of R2, and this R5 is different
yeah.
because the legs. So hold on, let me bring it up.
Yeah, I was
Because like
watching the video.
luckily, yeah, I had him handy, and he doesn't have the third leg or that bolt on top,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So technically, it is a different one. Are you thinking about grabbing this?
I'm gonna grab these.
Yeah.
I don't have one the original, so this is definitely and
Oh,
of
that's
course,
perfect.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah,
Just
cannot.
like I got the Garsax and Darth Maul, I have to pick this one up because I
Oh
don't have the
yeah,
originals.
that's perfect. Especially yeah, if you didn't have it, it just does all the work for you having both of them there. So I think maybe hopefully tomorrow we get some more because there has to be a good at least 4 to 6 more Funko Pops and maybe like 1 to 2 sodas, maybe a pop ride. So yeah, there's gonna be more for celebration coming soon for sure.
And those are going to be debuted, or they're going to be letting people know what exactly which pops those are
Yeah,
coming up
they're gonna
soon.
let us know the rest, and then they're gonna let us know where you can get this. So like I'm already predicting that this Jar Jar GameStop, right? Probably GameStop. And for this one, I'm gonna say Target because Target's
Target.
been getting a lot of the 2-packs lately for cons.
Yeah,
So it only makes sense. So yeah,
I could definitely see that.
but I mean within the next what like 2 weeks. Well, yeah, we have to know within the next 2 weeks, 2, 3 weeks, because celebration literally is is 3 weeks and 2 days from today. So they'll be launching that Friday at celebration. So probably Thursday or Friday, it'll be launching everywhere. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to be making line for these guys.
Yeah, so they announced for Funko today how they're doing it, and it's kind of good and kind of bad at the same time. So the past 3 celebrations, you had to enter a lottery
Yeah.
for the Funko booth, and you either won it or you didn't, and then you waited in line. What they're doing this year is you just reserve a day and a time slot for it. So literally, in on Thursday or Wednesday, the 29th of this month at 11 a.m., the reservations go live. So I'll have to click the link, get in, and pick one of the 4 days that I'm there and pick an available time slot and reserve it. So I just have to hope that I get in time and that there's time slots left because I'm there all 4 days. So I'll pick any day, any time slot.
Hmm.
So if I get a reservation, that kind of reserves me a spot to go in that day at that time. If I don't, I got to grind it out the old school way. And the minute I get there, there is a standby line.
Yeah.
wait in that line until for whatever it is, 3-4 hours till they open it up, and then hope there's leftovers. So I'm prepared for both, and I might still do both because fingers crossed, knock on wood, that I get lucky and get a time slot. But then if I can still get in multiple times, I want to try to get in. That way I could get extras because I want to try to hold everybody down if I can, and maybe
Yeah.
try to get everybody at least one. That way everyone can have one with the good sticker on it. So I'm gonna figure out how it works, but I'm very crafty at getting into those
Oh
celebration
yeah,
Funko
I heard
booths.
your just little story.
Yeah, so like
You
day
gotta be
one,
quick.
yep. Day one, I'm definitely gonna scope it out to see where the line is, see how security is, see how it works. Cause that's what I did in Chicago, man. So in Chicago, we didn't wait in line at all. And we came back like 5 minutes before 2, which is when they opened it up. And there was 3 separate lines at the Funko booth that everyone started on their own. So when 2 o'clock hit, everybody was arguing. Security was arguing with people in 3 different lines. So I'm just there in the background, just watching, like, okay, looking for a moment to strike. So I then noticed they started letting people in. So they took 4 or 5 people from the first line, let them in. Then they took 4 or 5 from the next line, let them in. Then they took 4 or 5 from this line. And as they were doing that, everyone was still arguing. So I just
Bargain, yeah.
slowly walked up casually, slowly, slowly, slowly. And when he let the next 4 or 5 in, zoomed right in, and I got in.
You were by
So
yourself. Am I correct?
that was from my boy Ricky. So he was on the phone kicking with his girlfriend in the corner. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
Ricky, come on, come on. And so I got in, but he didn't get in. So luckily, I happened to have won the lotto at Chicago for the next day. So that set that I snuck in and got, I let Ricky get, and then I got my set the next day because you always got to hold down the homies, of course. I
Mhm.
didn't want to be greedy and selfish. I mean, I could have resold them, but like, I'm not going to be in the hotel room with 2 sets of all these pops, like, ha ha ha, look at me, like, nah. So for London, yeah, I'm definitely gonna put in the work, and I'm meeting a few people out there, so I'll see if they're into Funkos or not. Because if they're not, and they happen to win, maybe I could get in through them as well. So we'll see. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
sounds good.
So that's pretty much all I have. What do you have coming up next on your channel that we could look forward to?
I'll just doing reviews. Do some more gaming in May.
Nice,
I'll be trying to cover. That's my plan. Our Houston Comic Palooza. What I'm
nice.
trying to do is probably interview some of the cosplayers. I'll be in cosplay also, so I'll be trying to do some of that and interviewing some of the cosplayers and doing a live event. Like a little run through or walk through the Houston Comic Palooza. So that's my plan. But as always, I
Nice.
always do a little reviews here and there, and so pretty much just a little bit more of that.
Awesome. All right, guys. So definitely check out in the description the link to Cirespeed Reviews. I'll put that in
Appreciate it.
there. Subscribe to this man. But that'll be everything for this episode. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for
Bye,
having me.
guys. Yep. Thanks.